Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the fascinating history and legacy of one of the most iconic television networks of all time, Cartoon Network. For decades, Cartoon Network has been a cornerstone of children's entertainment, providing us with endless hours of laughter, excitement, and imagination. Whether you grew up in the 90s, the 2000s, or even more recently, Cartoon Network has likely played a significant role in your childhood. But how did this powerhouse of animation come to be? What are the different eras that have defined its evolution? And what led to its recent decision to shut down its beloved website in 2024? Join me as we explore the origins of Cartoon Network, its impact on pop culture, the various programming blocks that became staples of our youth, the highs and lows it has experienced, and the legacy it leaves behind. This is the story of Cartoon Network, a journey through the golden age of animation to the challenges of the modern era. The genesis of Cartoon Network. To truly appreciate the impact of Cartoon Network, we need to go back to the early 1990s, a time when the television landscape was vastly different from what it is today. The seeds of Cartoon Network were planted by Ted Turner, the media mogul behind Turner Broadcasting System, TBS. Turner had a vision to create a 24-hour channel dedicated entirely to animated programming, something that had never been done before. The idea was simple yet revolutionary: provide a constant stream of cartoons, both classic and new, that would cater to audiences of all ages. The foundation for this ambitious project was laid when Turner acquired the vast Hanna-Barbera library in 1991, along with the pre-1986 MGM UA film library, which included classic Tom and Jerry shorts, Looney Tunes, and Merry Melodies. This acquisition was a game-changer, giving Turner access to an extensive collection of beloved animated content. With this treasure trove of material at his disposal, Turner officially launched Cartoon Network on October 1st, 1992. Initially, the network's programming consisted largely of reruns of these classic cartoons. But it wasn't long before the network began to explore new, original content, which would become its hallmark in the years to come. The Golden Era, 1992 to 2004. The early to mid-1990s is often referred to as the Golden Era of Cartoon Network, a period marked by creativity, innovation, and the birth of many of the network's most beloved shows. During its early years, Cartoon Network relied heavily on its library of Hanna-Barbera cartoons, airing shows like The Flintstones, The Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, and Yogi Bear. While these reruns were popular, the network was eager to establish its own identity and create original content that would resonate with a new generation of viewers. In 1995, Cartoon Network launched What a Cartoon, a groundbreaking showcase for new and emerging animators. This program was the brainchild of Fred Seibert, a former creative director at Hanna-Barbera, and it served as a platform for animators to present their original ideas to the network. The concept was a hit, and it wasn't long before several of the shorts produced for What a Cartoon were developed into full series. This initiative led to the creation of some of the most iconic shows in Cartoon Network's history, including Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, The Powerpuff Girls, Cow and Chicken, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. These shows weren't just successful, they were revolutionary. They pushed the boundaries of what children's television could be, blending humor, action, and often a touch of surrealism to create something entirely new. These series quickly became cultural touchstones, beloved by kids and admired by adults for their wit and creativity. In addition to its original series, Cartoon Network also introduced several programming blocks that would become staples of the network and define the viewing habits of countless kids. Toonami, launched in 1997, was perhaps the most influential of these blocks. Originally airing in the afternoon, Toonami brought action-packed anime to mainstream American audiences, introducing shows like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Gundam Wing, and Tenchi Muyo. The success of Toonami cannot be overstated, It played a pivotal role in popularizing anime in the West and cultivated a dedicated fan base that still exists today. Another notable programming block was Cartoon Fridays, which aired on Friday nights and featured a lineup of the network's original animated series. For many, this block was the highlight of the week, offering a chance to unwind and watch back-to-back episodes of their favorite shows. Cartoon Fridays helped to further solidify Cartoon Network's reputation as a leader in original animated content, and it remains a nostalgic memory for many who grew up during this era. The Silver Era, 2004 to 2010. As the 2000s rolled in, Cartoon Network entered what is often referred to as the Silver Era. This period was marked by continued success, but also by significant changes as the network sought to evolve with the times. One of the defining characteristics of this era was the introduction of new original series that built on the foundation laid by the Golden Era. Shows like The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Ben 10 were standout hits that captured the imagination of a new generation of viewers. However, the Silver Era was also a time of experimentation for Cartoon Network, and not all of these experiments were well received. In an effort to diversify its programming, the network began to introduce live-action shows such as Out of Jimmy's Head, Destroy, Build, Destroy, and Dude, What Would Happen? These shows were part of an initiative known as CN Reel, which aimed to attract a broader audience by offering a variety of content beyond animation. Unfortunately, this move was met with backlash from fans, many of whom felt that Cartoon Network was straying too far from its original mission. The live-action programming was largely seen as a misstep, and most of these shows were short-lived. Despite these challenges, the Silver Era still had plenty of bright spots. The network continued to innovate with shows like Camp Lazlo and My Gym Partner's a Monkey, both of which became popular with younger viewers. And while the live-action experiments may have been divisive, Cartoon Network's commitment to original animation remained strong, ensuring that the network continued to be a major player in the world of children's television. The Decline and Rebirth, 2010 to 2020. The 2010s marked a period of significant transition for Cartoon Network. After the mixed reception of its live-action ventures, the network made a conscious decision to return to its roots with a renewed focus on animated programming. This shift led to what many fans consider to be a renaissance for Cartoon Network, with the launch of several critically acclaimed and commercially successful series. The first of these was Adventure Time, which premiered in 2010. Created by Pendleton Ward, Adventure Time was unlike anything that had come before it. The show's surreal, whimsical world, coupled with its emotionally resonant storytelling, struck a chord with viewers of all ages. Adventure Time became a cultural phenomenon, earning numerous awards and becoming one of the most beloved shows of the decade. Following closely behind was Regular Show, created by J.G. Quintel. Like Adventure Time, Regular Show featured a unique blend of humor and heart, but with a more grounded, relatable setting. The show's offbeat characters and absurdist humor quickly made it a fan favorite, and it ran for 8 successful seasons. The success of these shows marked the beginning of a new era for Cartoon Network, one that was defined by a willingness to take creative risks and explore new storytelling possibilities. Other notable series from this period include Steven Universe, The Amazing World of Gumball, and Clarence. Each of these shows brought something unique to the table, whether it was the emotional depth of Steven Universe, the inventive animation of Gumball, or the quirky humor of Clarence. However, the 2010s also brought new challenges for Cartoon Network, particularly in the form of changing viewing habits. The rise of streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and later HBO Max began to alter the way audiences consumed content. As more people moved away from traditional cable television in favor of on-demand streaming, Cartoon Network, like many other networks, saw a decline in viewership. In response to this shift, Cartoon Network embraced digital platforms, launching the Cartoon Network app and increasing its presence on YouTube and social media. The network also began to produce content specifically for its streaming service, HBO Max, which launched in 2020. Shows like Infinity Train and Close Enough were part of this new wave of programming, offering a more mature and diverse array of content. The Modern Era and website Shutdown, 2020 to 2024. As we moved into the 2020s, Cartoon Network faced a daunting task of staying relevant in an increasingly digital and fragmented media landscape. While the network continued to produce successful shows like Craig of the Creek, We Bare Bears, and Teen Titans Go, it was clear that the traditional cable model that had defined Cartoon Network for so long, it was no longer sustainable. In 2024, Cartoon Network made the difficult decision to shut down its iconic website, a move that marked the end of an era. The website, which had been a hub for games, videos, and interactive content since the late 1990s, had been a beloved part of many fans' childhoods. However, with the rise of streaming services and the decline in web traffic, the network decided to focus its resources on other digital platforms. The closure of the website was met with sadness and nostalgia from fans who had grown up visiting it regularly. For many, it was another sign of the changing times and the end of the traditional television experience that had defined their youth. However, despite this loss, Cartoon Network's legacy lives on through its vast library of shows, many of which continue to be available on streaming services. The legacy of Cartoon Network. As we reflect on the history of Cartoon Network, it's clear that the network's impact on popular culture is immeasurable. From its humble beginnings as a 24-hour cartoon channel to its status as a cultural icon, Cartoon Network has played a pivotal role in shaping the world of animation. It has introduced us to countless memorable characters, stories, and worlds, and has inspired generations of animators, artists, and fans. While the network has faced its share of challenges, including the rise of streaming and the closure of its website, its influence remains strong. The shows that premiered on Cartoon Network continue to be celebrated and cherished, and its legacy as a pioneer in animated television is secure. As we move forward into a new era of digital entertainment, Cartoon Network will always hold a special place in our hearts, a symbol of creativity, innovation, and the power of imagination. And that wraps up our deep dive into the history and legacy of Cartoon Network. From its early days of classic cartoons to the creation of groundbreaking original series, Cartoon Network has left an indelible mark on the world of animation and pop culture. As we say goodbye to the network's iconic website, we can take comfort in knowing that the spirit of Cartoon Network lives on through its shows, its characters, and the memories it has given us. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And as always, keep the nostalgia alive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.